of appropriate behavior in that space.
Okay, a couple more. Go ahead, Mandy.
Ukraine, just very quickly follow up.
We're
Okay.
running out of time. Go ahead, Nandy.
Thanks, Kareem. Reuters has reporting showing that the G7 countries are set to discuss concern about China's use of economic coercion in its dealings abroad, and that's going to be part of the larger joint statement that will be released in Japan. Wondering if you can confirm that.
The PRC and managing that competition with them, as well as dealing with the full scope of challenges that the PRC presents in the Indo-Pacific region, will absolutely be on the agenda for the G7. And as I said in my opening statement, I think you can expect to hear at the end of those discussions that all the G7 leaders are over a common mind about how to deal with the challenges that the PRC presents. I won't get ahead of what's going to be said after those discussions, but it absolutely will be on the agenda, and I absolutely think you'll see at the end of it that the G7s are all like-minded. G7 nations are all like-minded.
So economic coercion specifically will be a part of it?
I think they're going to talk about the broad scope of coercive activities by the PRC, and economics is certainly a part of that. Yes, that will be part of the discussion, but so will be the security coercion that we see coming out of the PRC, whether it's in the East China Sea, whether it's in Taiwan Strait or the South China Sea. All that will be discussed.
Thanks, John. I want to ask you about a developing story. We're just now hearing reports about an American convoy in Nigeria coming under attack. What can you tell us about it?
Don't know a whole lot. I just got informed about that here before coming on out to talk to y'all. It does look like a US Convoy vehicles was attacked. What I can tell you is that no US citizens were involved, and therefore there were no US citizens hurt. But we are aware of some casualties, perhaps even some killed. But I don't want to get too far ahead of where we are right now. It just happened, and the State Department's looking into this.
Go ahead.
Given the number of questions you've taken on the debt limit here as it relates to the G7, how much do you expect that issue to kind of cast a shadow over these conversations? I mean, do you expect the president to answer questions about the process and the fallout and what may happen if with G7 leaders?
Look, I'm not going to speak for other G7 leaders and what they may or may not want to ask the president, but we do not expect that this will, to use your phrase, overshadow the G7. There's an awful lot on the agenda. I just walked you through it. These are several full days of discussions about real meaningful issues to our national security and to that of our G7 partners. I do not expect